there's movies with electric cars in them that make engine noises, and you're like, no, that's not the noise. Or a diesel truck, and it sounds like an LS. I'm like, no, like, we need to get this fired off though if we're just gonna keep talking.
Well, okay. Well, we've been talking for a couple minutes here about nothing to do with trucks and stuff. Hey, I'm your host, Dev with OBS Solutions.
I'm your other host, John with Carrot Customs. And honestly, I don't know that we need to continue saying this.
No, let's just say I'm Devin.
Yeah, or no, like we don't even need to say like people. We're almost 60 episodes in.
Oh, so they should probably know who we are.
Yeah.
I'm that guy, and that's the other guy over there. And we brought another guy in the
does
studio.
Joe Rogan introduce himself? Hey, I'm Joe Rogan with the Joe Rogan Experience.
No, but he might have a little more clout than you and me.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like, there might be some new people that come on here and go, who are these two idiots? So we should probably, until we're Joe Rogan status.
Until we get to that number one point.
I'd rather... Or Sean Ryan. How about that?
Yeah, dude, Sean Ryan's good. Anyways, this is the Truckery podcast.
We usually talk about trucks, but we have Kenny in today, and Kenny and I will talk about everything, same thing with John, from movies, trucks, to guns, to dirt bikes. So you never know what's going to happen today. We have topics, but we may squirrel. We were talking about movie stuff, and
we talk a lot about movies.
We do. We're big, like...
That's what we like. We'll pass the time. We'll be like...
Do you remember on this movie?
You know how we'll go like back and forth?
Right.
Name an action movie from the 80s that you like, and we'll like this one, this one, this one. You know what I mean? Or we'll just like go until we can't come up with one, almost like a contest.
Can we agree that Schwarzenegger made some of the crappiest action movies, but they're stuck in your brain, and you're like, you want to live through, like, oh man, that was a good one. But then you're like, ooh, I watched that. Or any 80s action movie. Hate to say this, but Chuck Norris movies, you try to watch them nowadays, not a single human in Chuck Norris movies ever aimed. Not a single one. Like, I had the boys watch the first Predator movie. I go, okay, kids, this is a staple. We're going to watch Predator. There was only one person that looked down the barrel of their gun when they shot. It was a bad guy. Schwarzenegger didn't do it. Jesse Ventura didn't do it. Well, he's shooting a minigun, but not a single human in that entire movie. Now, people, if you're listening to this Derpy podcast, watch that movie, because not a single person drew up their gun, put it on their shoulder, or they're right here.
Kapow, kapow.
To the bottom, like right here.
Yeah.
But that was like the macho, like, look at me. I mean, look at all those guys. Jesse Ventura, Schwarzenegger, and what was the other guy's name?
What was the black guy's name?
They didn't have to aim.
No, but they were just like, it was their presence, you know.
But like, everyone shot from the hip. It's like, man, that guy's a good shot. He shoot from the hip. I just thought, like... Is
that carrying on, like, you know, the old Westerns with 6-shooter?
Oh, maybe.
Is that like where that came from,
maybe.
You know, where you just...
There's that...
Pow.
Can't think of his name. There's that one dude that does that quick shooting from the hip with the revolver.
The young kid?
No, Mick, his last name starts with an M. You know, he's been doing it forever, and he's like, he'll shoot like a steel target, you know, 20 yards away or whatever, and you'll have a revolver holstered.
And do it, and it's like, do the draw.
And they'll be videoing him live time, and it's like this.
Really? Is that fast?
Bing, and you'll hear him hit it. It's like Mickle, his last name.
Damn, I'd like to see that.
It is nuts, and it's like even slow it down and it looks fast.
I always think,
and
like,
he hits, but he hits what he shoots at off the hip, like the draw, the shoot, and then the reholster. It's like unhuman.
The old guy Jerry, what's his face, is amazing
Jerry.
to follow.
Yeah, Micklick.
Oh,
Yeah.
him, yes. Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah,
he's a character. His stuff is awesome, dude.
Yeah, and he's been doing it forever, and it's like he hasn't slowed down.
Let's take a look at this.
Oh, hi, we just had pizza for lunch.
I love a good pizza commercial. Just really.
Here he is.
This is a truck podcast, but you know, we're going to talk about pistols and strap.
There's no. How long is this?
I would just fast forward here a little bit here. Oh, it's going to come. It's only a minute.
Dun, dun, dun,
he is getting fired up.
Oh, this is an old video. He's young in this. That guy looks like he's almost like 70s
here
now.
We go.
Well, this guy's holding it. That's just how fast they shoot.
Jeez.
8 shots in 1 second.
Holy crap.
And then a 12-shot reload.
That's look at that nerd. Hey, let me tell you about the scientific factor of it, not how to get it done.
When was this filmed?
That's impressive. Oh, how's he reload that fast?
Holy crap.
The reload was the fastest thing ever. Hey, you notice it's old when there's a calculator out.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no iPhones, none of that stuff.
I don't know if I've said this on this podcast before, but you remember in school, you know, in math class, like, you can't use a calculator. When are you ever going to have a calculator in your pocket with you all the time? It's like, now.
Hey, dumbass, look at me.
Yeah, look at me now.
I got a calculator. I got internet.
I have more computing power in my pocket than what they had when they put a man on a moon. If they did.
Oh, come on. They put a man on the moon.
Yeah. Never know.
Are we here to talk about trucks, or you just invite me to talk about
I could watch this guy all day shoot pistols and stuff. I mean,
we're just on to a new video.
It's pretty impressive. And you watch his current stuff. I follow him on Instagram on my personal, and he's spicy with his wife. Like, he does really good content because he's doing like reloading ammo or whatever it is. His wife comes in, they're bantering. It's pretty good. They do a really good job. So anyway, we are gonna talk about, I don't know, you know what I'm gonna talk about today? Here's what I was thinking about this. So I went to the dealership, Lisa and I got that family truckster or whatever, and I'm like, the color options. Today we're paying more for vehicles with less options for colors. And you look at the OBS world, I just think about this. Look how many color options there were in the 90s for trucks, especially in the Aeronose era.
Pull up like Google like 96 Ford F-Series color. Like there was, from the dealer brochures. I've looked at them before when people have asked me like,
what color?
What's this color code for? Do you know what this color's called? Because the names, even just besides colors, the names are really cool.
Right.
You should probably, if you go to the image search, it might give you like a swatch plate. That'll have the color.
Well, our last podcast, we looked at a color I've never seen before in the combo. I've never seen that red with white on the bottom like that.
There you go.
So
yeah, pull that up.
Here we go.
Look at that. That's not even mix and match.
So there's your blue F-150, the Lapis, right?
Yeah.
But they also there's a Lapis Poly.
So what do we have? 4 by how many do we have there? 7, 8, 9. 36 different color options.
Okay.
And you could combo those, right? So
how many? That's what I'm saying. It's like, hey, I'm Devin. I'm here to buy. I want to order an OBS Ford.
Yeah, I'm going into the dealer and I'm ready to buy me exactly what I want.
I want to order it.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Okay.
I don't need it.
You may not have.
In
Okay,
7 days.
Maybe I should say this. We have now where you can get more options interior wise. Okay, maybe because you can
barely, not really.
Well, I mean,
how many different? There were like 4 different color interior.
No, I meant like features: sunroof, no sunroof. Is it Lariat? Does it have heated seats, cooled seats? I think that's
the focus has gone to the interior and not the exterior.
Well, what I'm saying, it sucks. We've spent all this money for these newer vehicles, and here, how many you say? 36? Is that what you said?
36 is what's showing right now.
36 different colorways, and that's not even saying you can actually pair them together.
Oh wait! Hold on.
What? Page 2.
What's that?
No, there's a lot more than 36. This is a list of all the different.
But that's not. So you know how sometimes they limit colors to the body style, right? So like this is
okay.
That page I think said like that's truck and vans.
So look how many other colors there were just for trucks and vans, or the variants, like the other options.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the accents. So there's what you get if you want like the bottom a certain color, right?
Oh, here's your interior colors.
Wow.
What was this one?
That's impressive on how many different options there were back in the day.
Yeah, it's significant.
How'd you like to be the guy that got to pick the names?
Oh, I think it'd be awesome. I picture but at number 35, he was just like, I'm done with this shit. I'm over this.
It's red.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
vermilion red.
Right, like I just picture names like the monthly red. It's
Gosh. Oh my God.
What kind of red is
We're
that?
gonna call this one Shark Week.
Shark Week.
Oh, shit.
Have you ever seen orange? Have you seen a factory orange OBS?
Like all orange? No, I don't think I have.
I just saw the cover.
Maybe a government rig or a state rig, maybe? Question mark?
I mean, like ODOT.
Yeah, that's
ODOT runs a lot of orange rigs, but I think they paint them.
I don't see Forest Service green up there.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
That wasn't a factory color though, was it?
I would assume
did the Forest Service paint them, or did they come from Ford that color?
Maybe they only were able to get them that color. You couldn't buy one that color
because none of them have like white jams or anything.
No, they're all the same paint.
They're all
like, to me though, it's the color combos when they pair them together that are the coolest part about that generation of trucks. Nowadays, I've only remembered one. Currently, Ford, I saw a King Ranch that was black with that copper on the bottom.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like,
that looks nice.
That looks badass. But I haven't seen any two-tone you won't. There's no one doing it.
I don't know that they necessarily have great body lines to do it anymore either. Notice the body lines
Super Duties do.
Yeah,
the
bottom,
Devin's Super Duty.
Yeah, It has a bottom piece that you can make it, but you know what? How many colorways Chevrolet had in the same era? Okay. I don't think as many. Now the square bodies maybe.
What's your favorite two-tone combo, Devin, at OBS?
Oh, dude, I don't think I can pick one because I really love the rarest of rare that I think is that Eddie Bauer black with the desert tan on the bottom.
But I'm talking a real two-tone with the stripe down the middle and the same color top and bottom.
Oh, I would think Calypso and white.
Which way?
The white in the middle, Calypso top and bottom.
What about you, John?
Mine is the two blues.
The two blues?
The dark and the light blue?
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't remember which one I like better, top and bottom.
Actually,
Vermilion red and Oxford
I'm gonna stop you.
Really?
Since I was a a kid. Vermilion red on top with Oxford white down the middle.
Oh, that's
interesting.
The bright red.
The bright red. Okay. You know what though? I do like your gold truck. Your
really?
Yes,
that's one of yours.
That's starting. Getting up there. But then I like the Bronco too. The Bronco colorway looks really cool.
Yeah, you could only get that in the Eddie Bauer.
Yeah, that's true.
The Bronco you have?
Yeah, because I was gonna sell that Bronco, and I said I don't really like this color, Kenny. You're like you're high as a kite. Mm-hmm. I remember you telling me that. I'm like, dude, we should sell this Bronco. I'll fix it up and we'll flip it and get it gone.
The Chevrolet colors are not very good.
No, but what about go back? I meant to say, what about square body Chevys? Because they did two-tone trucks back then.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Sorry, so like 80s, 85, 86.
Can you just do
square body?
Yeah.
87 was the last year, right? Until they went to just dualies and Suburbans.
Yeah, I think so.
And there's a lot there too.
Where am I? That's shopping. I don't want to be in shopping. I want to be in
maybe
images.
Hey, just do images of pictures right there to the right with all the pictures of the trucks. Light blue, dark blue. Dude, that lifted Chevy right there, square body with that thing is awesome.
Oh yeah.
If I was gonna have a Chevy, it looked like that. Square body paint. There you go.
You know who'd know a lot about this is Randy Schmidt.
He would, yes, but we couldn't put Randy on this podcast. Yeah. There isn't a gag ball big enough to slow that guy up when it comes time. It would get out of hand.
Have I met him?
I don't think so.
Does he have a place in Crescent?
No.
Not that guy?
No, not Aaron. No.
We couldn't have him on either.
You could not have Aaron on here. No. All right. So here's the point I'm making. We're looking at colorways. I just thought, you know what? I was just thinking this as I was driving down the road. It sucks that we as consumers go out to find vehicles, and let's say Toyota, for instance. All right. Let's say I want a generic Toyota Tacoma. There's not that many color options for that pickup that is so popular right now.
Yeah.
And they're either a metallic or they're like matte.
Or they're picking different colors like concrete. Like, really? You really couldn't have done them. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't look bad.
So why do you think that is?
I don't know.
They're like neutral tones.
Yeah, they're very neutral and just kind of bland.
Well, is that because they're just the manufacturer like, hey man, I don't want to give so many options that we don't sell a lot of the other ones that don't like. Do you think Ford had a bunch of other colors that didn't move and like shit, those didn't sell?
And you have all the paint.
Right, like
and
are
all the supplies.
Did they just go out on the street of Portland and go, okay, Portlanders, what do you think is the best color for your Toyota Tacoma? Well, I like concrete. Well, I like red, or I like, I think
it depends also on the intended use of the vehicle. If they're more, like Toyota's marketing to off-road, overland, like that, like, hey, we're
sure, okay,
and like I would, if I was out and about a lot in the woods or in the desert or wherever, I'd want a more neutral tone because it kind of blends in and doesn't show the dirt and dust on it better, It's like why I always like what did my buddy calls it? Resale white.
Resale white.
Yeah. Like because it's my wife had a white Tahoe and I washed it like every 3 months and every time I washed it looked brand new. And I'm like, this is great.
I do like white for that.
Doesn't show scratches and like.
But can we agree though that nothing looks as good as black when it's nice and clean?
Oh, if it's pristine.
Black looks good.
And it's never gone through a drive-through car wash.
Correct.
And
black is
no dings.
No dings, no scratches, but
no dust.
It's such a mofo to keep clean.
Oh,
I have an idea I want to ask you guys about something. Devin and I might have touched on this in a conversation once, but I don't think we've talked about it or you've talked about it on this podcast being Truckery, right?
Did we ever even introduce Kenny?
No, nobody even knows who I am, but they probably hear Devin make fun of me.
Well, you make fun of me too. By the last post was really good with the Bob Ross, by the way. That was well done.
That
was really good.
You like that? Did you see I used the B word?
Yeah.
You did use the B word.
But you didn't mention any like happy little mistakes.
Yeah, we're gonna build a happy little OBS Ford.
Oh no, it should have been as a mistake. It was it's got a 302. That's a happy mistake.
Yeah.
Let's fix that.
351.
Yeah, that makes decent power. But anyway, this is Kenny. If you guys don't know who Kenny is, his nickname is Kenny Budget. He's in the Brick Nose community. Kenny,
I need to clear the air on that though. You guys call me like the Brick Nose guy, like he's the Brick Nose guy.
No, I just make fun of you that way just to spice it.
The reason why I bought a Brick Nose is because that's the truck I could afford, and that's where it all started. And I like them, but it's like
back to the budget thing.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm saying, Kenny Budget.
100%. I wanted a 7.3 Power Stroke OBS crew cab, and it was like.
Well, Kenny, I also wanted one of those when I was young. I couldn't afford them, and I got a Brick Nose, and I drove a Brick Nose for a while, and then I realized that I like Aero Nose better, and I graduated. I graduated to an Aero
I'm glad
Nose.
You didn't say grew up because
he graduated to a 6-liter.
No, he graduated to a Jeep.
A Jeep
Cherokee.
That's I would say my wife has a Jeep.
No, Kenny and I work together. Kenny does all of our social media. If you don't know who Kenny is, then you've been probably living under a rock and you don't listen to our podcast, which that's fine. I wouldn't listen to it anyway. And anyway, Kenny does, like I said, works for OBS Solutions. Him and I do all the videos on for our social media and that stuff. And if you message our Instagram page or Facebook page, you're talking to him, not me. So that's who Kenny is. He has a very, very, probably one of my favorite Brick Nose trucks ever. I just give him shit about it, just to give him shit. If you haven't seen it recently, it's on Boggers and a gnarly gasser, and so that's who Kenny is. He loves trucks, guns, and dirt bikes and wheeling and all that stuff. So
I just like to have a good time.
Yeah, and thanks for coming, Kenny. By the way,
it's always fun to come over and hang out with John, and sometimes you, but I see you a lot more than John.
I know I'm no fun.
Yeah,
anymore.
we don't hang out anymore.
Hey, but we talk more.
Yeah,
Monday nights.
We're working on it.
So back to what you're saying about.
So I had something that I wanted. I don't think you guys have touched on because since I do help promote the podcast and try to work on that. If you don't like the content we post, then you can blame me. Don't blame John. Don't blame Devin.
Okay.
But on that image you had, it said 1972 Love colors.
Ooh.
So Chevy Love, right? And that made me think mini trucks. Have you guys talked about mini trucks at all in this podcast? I love mini trucks.
I love mini trucks too.
How can you not like mini trucks?
So what's your now, for those who may or may not know, if they're stuck under a rock, what is a mini truck?
Small truck.
It's a little, it's like a key truck, like the little cab over Japanese imported.
Yeah, I guess that counts.
Why can't we have those here?
We can.
The key truck,
you can't drive them on the road and license them though, right?
No,
in Oregon?
Yeah. No. I'm not talking about the key trucks. I'm talking about the new Toyota pickup they came out with that's only in Japan. That's like a single cab thing. Have you seen that thing?
So
no.
All right, moving on. Sorry.
But a mini truck,
right?
To me, it's what the evolution to what is now like the Ranger. They are small. They call them a mid-size, but
well, that's changed because it used to be a Toyota, like your early Toyota pickups or your Nissans. Or even like our Ford Rangers were a small vehicle. Now the mid-size is like a mid. It's in between, right?
Right.
But I think of like your 92. When I think of a mini truck, I think of 92 Nissan hardbody, like, or 92 Toyota, like in that 90s or late 80s.
Oh yeah.
So is that your favorite mini truck? Is a hardbody?
I don't know why, and I hate Nissan products working on them. I just absolutely, it sucks working on them. But Nissan hardbodies, I love. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the white trash in me. I love, and then S10s. I'm sorry, S10s of all generations, I freaking love.
A hard body on Escalade wheels.
Yeah, up top, Kenny, right here. Thank you. He said it. That was
a
good combo.
White, like this era S10
yeah.
is probably my mini truck of choice.
That's like a 98 to 04.
Yeah.
I still like the square body, like a square body S10s.
What happened to like Mini Truck and Magazine?
I don't know.
It must have
right there. Mini Truck Magazine home.
Or they just, there you go. So it's still around. That's cool.
Nissan hardbody right
there. Nissan hardbody, Toyota Tacoma.
Which that Toyota
this
Tacoma
is just like swag. It looks like.
Oh,
yeah. So lame.
Yeah.
Okay, go to.
Just go to the image, sir.
Yeah, do image.
There we go. Images.
Look at that.
A Colorado is not a mini truck.
Mm-mm.
It can't be. It's midsize.
No. Colorado?
No, it's a midsize truck.
Right there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, the square body. Like, what would you call that? That's a '90s S10 laid out. That's actually a Blazer.
1982 to 1994.
Look at that. It's a S10 Blazer. It's the back of it's off of there.
Yeah. It? Well, no, I bet you they just did a unibody. Like that's what I love about mini trucks. Oh,
this is just showing you. Maybe you can buy old episodes or magazines issues, but you might be able to pull a bigger photo.
I'm sorry, but the whole S10, that early 90s S10s are pretty awesome.
Well, and the things that they do in the mini truck world
Crew cab courier,
wild.
Yeah, it's
its own world.
But someone told me it's coming back.
The bed that like flips up and at an angle, and you can see everything underneath of it. Like that S10 where they turned it into a unibody. You know, like that sort of stuff is pretty sweet.
There's a lot of the mini truck world that I think is so rad that I wish it had come back. Color stuff, I don't know. They had some wild colors back then. Like you see your second or your number 2 one,
yeah,
with all the stripes, the tribal looking stripe shit. I'm not a fan of that, but like on the far end, the Nissan at the far end, which that's not a hard body, but just a straight color. No, on the far right. But like
Frontier.
Oh,
right?
Frontier, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
the front end
Frontier.
is.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard body with a Frontier front clip.
You see more weird stuff like that in the mini truck world.
I love the creativity though.
Yeah.
I mean,
the creativity is second to none.
Look at the magazines. They have the chicks in it and everything. I mean, and the colors are like bold and in your face. But
it defines the era too, because I think they hit their peak in like the mid to late 90s to the early 2000s. And then, because in like 04 or 05, I think that's when the S10s quit getting made.
Yeah.
And then mini trucks, new ones forever, it devolved.
Kind of like,
and it just became something it's not now.
You know who know a good one on this is Bush and Ricky. They were mini truck nerds back in the day, and Ricky is like he still mentions mini truck stuff, and he and Bush were so involved in that world, like they were all in on
like
that shit.
George Bush.
No.
Bush is he's like kind of a part-time.
He comes in, helps us. He comes in, helps us. He works at the truck show, helps at the truck show.
Oh, nice.
He's got the beard.
Yeah, he's quite the character.
I'm sure I've met him.
Anyway,
remember.
It's his nickname. Don't know
what is. I don't know why. Last name is like Bushman or something. I think.
Great. That'd be a great name as a high schooler, right?
Bush.
So, John, what's your go-to mini truck? All eras, doesn't matter when.
It's probably that S10. Like
S10?
Yeah.
Their first generation ones?
Yeah. Yeah, I like those. And like bagged, notched, body dropped, like
all laid out.
Laid out.
You remember the company Air Ride Technologies, right? They're still around.
Oh yeah.
Did you, because you and I are closer in age and we were into that stuff more than probably Devin. Do you remember when they came out with the road grader kit for the S10?
Explain it, Kenny.
So when you want to like bag and 4-link anything, and I'm not an expert on this, but you know, at that point in time, this was like early 2000s, you had to, you buy a kit and it wasn't bolt on. You're buying a weld on notch. Okay. You're buying the bars and the links and you're making the tabs and you're figuring out where you're going to weld it, right? And then, I mean, maybe people think it's kind of lame, but they made like the first bolt on system that was a C notch and a 4-link or a 3-link.
It's called a road grader?
It was called a road grader. And I don't even know if this is forever ago, probably like 2002.
Now they've got the street scraper.
Sure, which might be, but it was something along those lines where it's like you could lay that truck out with a freaking Sawzall cutoff wheel grinder and a drill bit, right? And I drove a truck with one and it drove great. It's like, it's pretty cool to lay a truck out in your driveway and you don't have to have it. And
wow, I didn't know that even existed.
Yeah, and I'm sure the hardcore guys think it's lame. We didn't build it, you didn't weld it.
You just bought it.
It doesn't look as cool. But there's an ass for every seat, right?
Yeah, no, that's super cool.
If you just want to have a cool laid out truck and you don't have a welder nor welding skills.
But like, look how structural that thing looks. Like it looks well thought of. Yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I can't hate on that. That's actually pretty interesting. I didn't even know anything like that existed for that world.
I hadn't heard of them, but I remember growing up when I lived in Bakersfield, our neighbor, he was a few years older than me, and he had a Nissan hardbody with the bed off, C-notched, bagged. Everything was bagged. Big, loud sound system. And every time he'd drive past the house, I'd be outside. He'd dump the air out of the back, and he had magnesium in it, so it'd scrape and spray sparks everywhere. It was really sweet.
It just reminded me. Do you remember? It's kind of like the moto. Like, remember the videos that they would put out? This is before the internet got big and YouTube and all that. And there was like videos of mini truck guys and lower truck guys and just going out and what Devin calls debauchery. And they're just rolling like 3 wide down the freeway, dragging, throwing sparks. And guys are 3-wheeling in parking lots and just kind of being off the rails. It kind of like, I would liken it to the truck version of like a moto, like free riding video.
Would that be a street takeover?
No, they weren't doing that kind of
down the road.
They're just cruising, guys having a good time and having fun. It wasn't like
causing mayhem.
It's not lawlessness, I guess. It's just having a good time with your buddies and like pushing the envelope or the edge, not envelope.
Yeah,
it was
of not getting caught by the police or doing shit that you get.
And you had to like wait till a video came out to get it. It wasn't like you could just type in on the internet to go watch a video like you can now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that.
It'd be cool.
You know Dirthead Dave from Dirt Every Day?
Yeah.
He's a big mini truck guy.
Yeah, he's got a mini truck.
He was all about that scene back.
I think the mini truck stuff is cool because it doesn't have to be big horsepower. It just can be laid out or your own style, right?
Did you see the crew cab's Courier?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the crew cab Courier is wild.
And then the front end is
I think it's a Ranger with a Courier front end.
Oh, it could be.
You're right. That's a Ranger cab.
Exploder.
Which looks really weird.
Is it a cut down Explorer?
What's your Explorer? Okay, what's your year of Explorer you'd go for if you like had a choice?
Oh, like no later than 94. The square ones.
But I want the 5.0 in it.
I'm in the market for a square Explorer.
Really?
I know where a really nice one's at. We'll talk later.
Yeah,
seriously.
I'm not in that much of the market, but
no, it's if you gonna do something fun with it?
Yeah, like beams,
This one's perfect for
make it.
No, I was hoping you were gonna say like tons and like 40s. Oh.
No, that's actually my mini truck is getting that. The Toyota. My Toyota.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got a mini truck.
That's right, you have a mini truck.
I know.
Have a mini
you
truck.
can see it right
work
here.
Out of any truck around here.
It's a maxi truck.
It's done a lot of work.
It's got a crane in the back.
Listen, if you're gonna do that too, make sure you leave the crane in the back.
I have to bob the bed. So, but it's gonna get. I don't know if I'm gonna do 1-tons or not. I may do Toyota axles, but I'll probably do 1-tons because I've got a pair of 1-tons sitting out back.
I love Tristan's Jeep on tons, and it's so fucking wide. It's just like when he brings it to the shop, it's on 40s, and I'm like, that thing looks like I can get totally down with the Jeep world, like Jeep Cherokee world, because it looks awesome.
Have you noticed, like, besides the big broy truck world, everybody's going like big rubber, low slung, low center of gravity performance wise in the rest of the off-road.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about having the biggest, tallest rig unless you're doing
bro shit.
The big broy, flashy, big wheel stuff.
Right.
I got passed
everybody
by
else.
One of those.
Huh?
I got passed by one of those the other day on the freeway, like at night with all the underglow on.
Oh, wow.
And the gaudy
Spaceship.
links. And
wow. What'd you think?
Trent and I looked, we're like, oh, wow. I didn't know we had those here. Yeah. I was driving the Toyota. We were driving the mini truck back from date night.
I love you. It's so awesome.
Oh, dude. Hey, you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Watch out. Cancer coming down the road. Stay away.
You know what's another fun thing about mini trucks is when you put big power in them because they're so light and small. I had a small block S10 for a while and it was a ton of fun.
I believe that.
It wasn't necessarily fast, but it was just burnouts and, light to light was just a good time.
They don't need to be fast.
No, they're so light. It doesn't make too much. Can we bring back the mini truck culture? Can we please? Are we gonna see like S10s, like 92 S10s going for like 10 grand? They're totally thrashed. Piles of shit.
They're actually mini trucks like S10s and Rangers are some of the cheapest vehicles to buy right now.
Okay, hold on. Let's just put the money. Let's just put the Let's just proof in the pudding here. Go to Marketplace. I know it's early. Let's go to Marketplace, Oregon, and let's just say S10. Just type in S10, see what comes up. I'm just curious. Let's just see what the market looks like for
Probably
S10s.
A lot of ugly beaters and blazers. They're always blazers. The pickups are harder to find.
A blazer, a tool drive blazer laid out doesn't look too bad. Just saying.
I agree.
I mean,
Where are you local, or are we gonna go somewhere else?
No, let's go local. Let's just see what's in our hood here for the sense of
S10.
I look at the 4-wheel drive one lifted straight axle. See, $4,500 for that one that looks pretty clean, and it's already kind of like.
I bet it's got a V8 in it.
Do you?
Yeah, look at those wheels.
Let's take a look.
Okay, what we have
LS swap ready.
Okay, we're gonna let's just do our marketplace right, even though we're early. This is a classic. It says a classic S10. When someone says that, you know the price is gonna be inflated. Classic S10 LS swap ready, original paint, low miles, brand new Jegs wheels and tires. I didn't know Jegs made wheels. Clean title, brand new lights all the way around, sunroof. I have a 5-speed. I'll throw in as well. Kenny's head's in the way, right? It has a 2.5 Iron Duke 4-cylinder engine with 111K on it. Original miles in great condition. Roll that bean footage there and let's see what we got here.
4,500 might be a little steep.
If it's straight, I'd pay 4,500 for it. If it's straight 10, everything's OG.
Well, let's 100%. Go buy it. Put your money where your mouth is.
Dude, don't try. I just bought 2 bull noses.
Check this out. Look. Look at how basic it is.
Which I love. That's the coolest part.
I bet it doesn't have air conditioning. Look at how simple that is.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like just the flip switch for the headlights.
Yeah.
A gas gauge and a speedometer and everything else is dummy lights. Yeah. Everything. No oil pressure, no voltmeter. And then they had do you remember the arrow for shift light?
Yes. I remember that in the Ford. But the cool part is I bet the factories are like aftermarket support for an S10 cluster. Beltec makes all kinds of stuff for them. So that's not bad. That's a good presentation of what's out there. We're seeing
a Sonoma. I like the Sonomas.
Yeah.
They had a better grill. The GMC's always had the better grill.
There's one for $1,500 to extra cab. That's not bad.
Where? Right. Oh, right there. Yeah.
I mean, it's not. Okay, there's your lowered one right there. Oh no, it's an extended cab.
It's like a dump bed on that one. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
What's the guess what the axle is before you open it? What do you think they use?
Okay, so
Jeep axles.
Before you let's describe this. Kenny, we were scrolling down and we see a 98 S10 extended cab, but it's lifted like straight axled, and it's got some like the
Dana
fenders,
35s.
The fenders have cellulite all over them, which looks like someone beat them out with a hammer. And it's 35s.
It is a 5. I can see 5 lug. What's your guess on the front axle?
I'm gonna say it's a Jeep front axle.
Like Jeep what? That's a big range.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna say it's a Jeep Cherokee front axle. What was that? A Dana 44?
30.
Dana 30.
Dana 30
out of a Cherokee.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 30 on the.
You say 30?
Yeah, it looks like it was very cheaply done.
Okay, so let's go to that.
I bet it's a 44 out of a Jeep.
Okay, so
Dana 30.
Yes, Dana 30. Woo!
Winner, chicken dinner.
Okay, so what we got here is the description.
On 37s, that Dana 30's like.
Whoa.
Oh, here we go. Okay, this is Mr. Budget right here. He's gonna go, wait a minute, that Dana 30 with the right spline axles will hold up quite well on 40s.
Yeah, I've got a TJ Rubicon 44 in the front of my Jeep with 37s.
Well, that's a Rubicon 44. That's not a Dana 30.
Do you not know your numbers?
Okay, it's like a Dana 37 because the center section is a 44. The tubes and the knuckles and the C's are all Dana 30.
Yeah, but what about the axle shafts?
It's got 30 spline inner, but it's got 30 whatever.
All right, we're not talking about
Kenny
here. Let's just go in the description on this S10. We are dealing with a 98 Chevrolet S10 SAS. I bet it's a Skies kit. Dana 30 front end, 4.3. Thank God it's got a 4.3. Welded rear end, open front. Heater works. Flowmaster exhaust, 37-inch BFGs. Could come with a 14-bolt rear end and turbo. 350
turbo 350.
Turbo 350. Thank you. 203 transfer case. I have other projects. Don't have time for it. And how much do I want for this thing?
$3,300 for a scrub.
I like how the air filter sticks straight down, so we get mud and water in it. It's better to get it sucked up in there.
That's actually a decent buy for $3,300 to get started.
That is true. You could go out and wheel it with your buddies and have a good time.
It does not. It comes with a 14-bolt turbo 350 and 203. Right. Currently, it's all stock.
Do you know, John, why they called them, or maybe Devin might know, a turbo 350 or a turbo 400 on those GM transmissions, where that came from?
I do not.
Tell us, Kenny.
I don't know. I'm asking because I don't.
Because you can put a turbo in front of it and hold it?
It's because they call it a turbo hydromatic, TH. But I still don't know where the turbo word, why they use that.
Well, I guess we'll hit the Google and find out. I mean, here we go.
Yeah, what is turbo?
Refers to the design of its torque converter, which utilizes a turbine-like mechanism that provides a quick and efficient power transfer, giving the impression of a turbocharged effect when accelerating.
Damn. Okay, so Kenny, all you have to do is put a turbo 350 behind your 460 in your gold truck, and you have a turbo.
turbo like.
It's like a teeny turbo.
That's right. It's the Wish.com version. Okay, so let's go back to what we're talking about, mini trucks, and like what's out there for S10s, or you know what, let's type in Ranger, because I like a classic Ranger. You don't see a lot of them in the weeds, maybe because the front end suck to lower. Could be.
Mini trucks are great first rigs too.
They are.
They're
great.
So good.
Yes. Like a high school kid could drive it and put it in a ditch and still live if it had enough, if it was an early enough one.
I like this green in the Ranger.
Really?
That looks blue.
Let's get scrolling.
Oh, okay.
It could be.
Oh, it is like tourmaline green. Tourmaline.
It's interesting. Oh, wow. The Rangers, I feel like, are going to be worse rigs here.
Dude, Rangers. Ooh.
Ugh, right
the
there.
92.
The 92 in Escalante. Oh, it's like a gold color?
It's the brownish gold. It's like Kenny's color.
Copper truck. So I like the 92 era Rangers with the flat headlights.
So what is this, Devin, and how much is it?
Well, what we have here, Kenny, is a 92 Ford Ranger Super Cab XLT. It is driven 207,000 miles, manual transmission, exterior's tan. Oh, that's plot twist. Gas, of course. Clean little pickup. Comes with lots of work done. Bought it after it's been sitting a while. New tires, fuel pump, fuel pressure regulator, which was very common in those things to fail, and hydraulic cylinders, coils, plugs, and wires, air filter, oil filter, blah, 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 front brakes, ignition, anyway, bunch of maintenance stuff. Flowmaster muffler, oh my gosh. Truck runs and drives great. Truck has lost title, but all appropriate paperwork in order to and sign to get title. $2,500, OBO, trades, ? Chicken fingers, you name it, Butterfinger, you name it.
Is this a 2x2? Or 2x4?
No, we're talking a 2-wheel drive
4x4?
Ranger, extra cab, which if you're a heavy person and not a small person like me, getting in the back seat of that thing's going to be a bad day for you. But
did they have jump seats in those too?
Yeah, they did. If I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
But kids these days don't even know what jump seats are.
Kids these days don't even know the struggle of getting in the back of one of these things. And God forbid you're in a wreck with one of those things in the back seat. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's pretty clean. I love the body style. It kind of, like the 92 Ranger era kind of mimics like OBS bodies where it's a little bit rounded, but it sucks the fenders were square cut. So sticking big tires in them kind of sucks, but...
How much is it, Devin?
$2,500. And it runs and drives, it says.
I feel like it's a pretty good deal for...
It's not bad.
Like, that's why anybody's like, oh, I need to buy a pickup.
Now, wait a minute.
Should I get?
That truck didn't say what engine it was. I was kind of curious. Was it 2.9 or was it the...
Probably a 3 or 4 liter, being a 92.
Those years were synonymous. See, it said fuel pressure regulator. 2.9s had a problem with the fuel pressure regulator, which I've had this happen. They stuck and would fill the vacuum. It was a diaphragm.
Oh, yeah.
Then it would pull the fuel into the vac system, then dump all the fuel in the cylinders and hydrolock the vehicle as you're running down the road.
Fun.
That's classic.
But I still think that body style is so cool. And there's something about Rangers, that one right there, $4,700, the 86 Ford Ranger, super cab, straight axled, or not. No, it's not. That's a truck to look at. Okay, I'm going to read this one. 2.9, here it is right here. What we have here is a 86 Ford Ranger. It's super fun. It's lifted to on 33s and is a great for off-roading. It's got 4-wheel drive. I would hope so. It has a 2.9 V6, which I told you guys about, 5-speed. I'm open to trades. Very interested in a newer YZF or YZ250F. Send me whatever you got. I hope this thing's cool. What color is that thing?
Blue.
It's got like a roll. It's got like a cattle guard bumper on the front.
That screen is a different color than this screen.
Is it white?
No. It is green.
It's green. That's a cool looking truck.
It's questionable.
It sits just right.
It's so I think you see how the fenders are different than the last one we looked at? The earlier first generation Rangers have more of a bullnose style fender flare type deal.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I do see that.
This thing is killer.
I don't know when they changed them, but these ones are really cool, the earlier ones.
$4,700, is that steep for this or not?
Steep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say
Though that front bumper adds at least $2,000.
That bumper looks like it was on Mad Max.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That guy
looks like it was on
into
Meth Max.
Dude, is that all the pictures they have? No interior pictures?
No interiors.
We're dealing with Ranger owners, Devin.
Are they worse than Bricknose owners?
They're in the same.
Are they the same category? What are we talking here? Are the same? Okay, there's your mini truck, $5,000. 91 Ford Ranger, regular cab. Oh, never mind, it's a long bit. Wait, Doesn't look like a long bed though.
Is that an STX?
It is.
No, it's not. That's a short bed.
No, it's not. That's
a long bed.
That's a long bed, Kenny.
How dare you?
Yeah, keep going. They've been cool for the short bed.
I know.
That's a good work truck. That's your parts truck.
That's what I was saying a minute ago. Was like when someone's like, "I need a truck to just run around with," and I already have a car or something.
Yeah.
I'm always like, buy a mini truck.
Is that a Ford Lightning?
That's Ford Lightning 16.5.
Oh, it's been on there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
94 Ford Lightning regular cab short bed. I'd hope it's a short bed if it's a true Lightning. Okay, this is why I haven't gone and looked at this truck.
It's a Hispanic fellow that owns it.
Well, that's not why. But I was saying...
No, that's not what I meant. I was just reading the description, and it says 113,000 miles originales.
So the bummer is when it says...
That was not a diss. I just got back from Mexico.
I'm just giving you shit, John. I really appreciate this person. This is what I love about Marketplace when people do this, is when they put they put the percentage or some kind of like description of the paint and interior. Don't you love when people do that? Because it shows that the person's actually being transparent.
Well, it shows that is their gauge.
Which I appreciate. At least It's not saying like the paint is good and you get over there and it's like paint's flaking off. Well, it's good in spots and not in others, right?
It's good right there.
Yeah. Where this gentleman, which I think is awesome, he put, hey, paint is a 6.5 out of 10. All right, I can work with that. This truck is actually pretty cool.
It's not bad.
Well, for the price, and you're getting a Lightning with 113K, I feel like you're on the cusp of it being like too many miles and still low miles. You know what I mean?
The paint, I guess I'd like to see it in person, but the paint doesn't look like a 6.5.
I don't think so.
I can't figure out because those other pictures, it looked
faded.
Pink faded.
But then these pictures look legit.
But if you freshly wash or wipe down...
Or the sunlight, your pictures in this... I mean, Kenny, how many times do we take pictures of trucks and the sunlight sucks? I want to see the bolsters of the seat. Like the full boat are like all rubbed out. Oh, there you go.
Not bad.
No.
Not bad.
That's a good look. That's a nice truck. The Club. They still sell those.
The Club. What is the Club, Devin, for people that are listening?
So if you're too young to know what the Club was, that was a universal lock for your steering wheel that you put across your steering wheel so someone couldn't steal your vehicle.
It's all original, though.
I know. How much they want for it? 16.5. Is that a big number? I think that's a small number for a Lightning.
The back bumper is my least favorite part of it.
I hated the factory tube bumper. It just sucks. Some people like them. I don't know. Kenny, what's your thing on the factory tube bumper?
Those belong on lifted Toyotas.
I don't think they belong on anything.
If they're going to be on something. Like the Smitty belt. That's where I think they, like, nostalgically, that's where they belong in my mind.
Yeah, I can see that.
I like that truck. I'm not a red guy, but that truck is pretty cool.
I think if a guy could get it from around 10 to 12, it'd be a good buy.
There's a very rare truck, the 75 Ford Ranger Super Cab XLT. That's a rare truck because you didn't see, and it's a short bed, and it looks rough, very rough. But
sweet old truck.
Sweet. I mean, like you got it right there. Sweet old truck. Open to trades, partial trades for looking for a side-by-side or UTVs, excavator, skid steer, tractor, Cummins, Duramax, quad. I mean, he put everything down here.
Everything.
Except kitchen sink.
Probably already has one of those.
Might. But you know what's funny is I always kind of, not geek out, but I'm always kind of curious, like the whole short bed extended cab trucks you don't see a lot of.
No, I do like them. I like the dense side.
Yeah.
Extend cabs.
Would you like the
club cabs, as we like to call them sometimes?
Club cab, extended cabs, whatever. I don't know. Do people like? Oh, they're not called that.
Just fire people up.
Yeah, Kenny's pretty good about like doing that one every once in a while, getting everyone fired up on the cab thing.
Oh yeah, you know what though? I'm starting to see people use it in their posts.
Oh, they do for sure.
And I hated it. I hate it when you and Carrie Dick at LST were talking about family cab. I'm like, you guys are so dumb. Nobody's gonna like that.
It's funny because it's making fun of all the people that are purists and like that's not what it's called. Like, dude, no one cares.
Carrie's the one that always gets mad at us calling it a club cab. That's a Dodge thing.
Well, maybe that's why we do it then.
I like that Carrie like gets all spicy about us putting Cummins and Fords, but then he sells his little red truck and it's totally for an LS motor going in that little red truck.
I don't know if it's an LS, but it's getting some sort of
Chevy engine.
GM V8.
Yeah.
He's putting an LS in it?
The guy he sold it to, I think, is.
Yeah, and he totally endorses it.
Love it. But they're putting a GM motor in it, but not an LS?
I don't know. I don't think
so. I heard through the grapevine it might be like a
full-blown.
Like a blower motor, like a older, with like a
Like a big block?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool.
It's going to be like a burnout truck kind of thing.
Which I think is, I mean, like, hey, who cares who manufacturer? I think it's cool you're doing that.
Yeah. No, I like that. I just, not like your classic 350 with a carburetor.
Right.
That's a nice Courier.
That's a nice Courier.
That's not a Courier, my friend. That's a Mazda B2200.
No way. I mean, when do you see a mint condition 1984 Mazda B series with a short bed? I mean, okay, everyone, if you're not seeing what we're seeing here,
Sundowner Edition.
Sundowner Edition. Okay, isn't that a disease? Sundowner's disease.
The song Sundown.
In no rush to sell. In no rush to sell, but I'll hear out all offers. Open to trades. I can answer every question to best of my knowledge. Comes with a bunch of extra parts, some new, some old. So what we're dealing with here, like I said, is an 84 Mazda B2000, and like Kenny said, the Sundowner Edition. It's a silver. Is that right, boys? Silver.
Yeah, I like that grill.
How much?
What does it cost in this one? I missed that. Sorry. I'm $5,000 Lake Oswego. And so this is a very rare, I mean, in the sense of you don't see these, I think a lot of these were trashed, right? Or thrown away. They're like a square kind of, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a Volvo station wagon.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Like a Volvo station wagon as kind of like bodies, which check us out. Shane and I were snowboarding last weekend, Shane and Keegan, and we're walking through the parking lot, and there's one of those old station wagon Volvos that are all, and Shane looks at me and goes, Dad, that thing laid out would look so rad.
Yes.
And I just want to smack him.
Why?
Smack the shit out of him.
Why would you? He's 100% accurate.
And I did it to stop my. I go, Shane, those things were shit. And I go, but it would look. You're right.
Would you rather him have said, Dad, that Cybertruck is so rad?
Oh, a Cybertruck dig on John. I love it. From the back row. Yes, you're right. You're right.
Would you rather?
Would you rather?
That's our favorite game.
I just love it when Shane said that. I'm like, okay, you can stay.
He is 100% accurate.
It would look cool. But this Mazda's really cool looking.
What's going on at tailgate? Go back to that. What are those?
What are what?
Tell me what those are, Devin.
Are those hooks?
I don't know.
What are those? Anyway, it looks like some, I don't know what, the little rectangles cut into the bed.
The straps.
Yeah, I don't know. But this thing is clean. The bed's not all beat to shit. The sheet metal looks legit.
Blue interior with hubcaps.
Dude, that thing in the
Missing
weeds.
door panels.
That's okay. That's
Maybe
all right.
he's got them in the garage.
Maybe it's in there somewhere it said extra parts, remember? Maybe someone was rebuilding this.
Look at the window frames on those doors. Look how small they are. So simple.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing to them.
No.
The whole truck's cool.
Ooh, wow. The engine bay is clean. Looks like it's got a Weber on it.
John, you need this for a work truck.
I already have one mini truck. I don't need another one right now.
That truck on its nuts on the ground would be
Or
would it look good on 40s?
No, lowered.
Really? Think so?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at the body lines. It's meant to have...
It's meant to be slammed and cut up. It was born to be cut up and slammed. Quick, to the Sawzall.
Yeah.
C-notch. Immediately.
What else do you got?
How long are we going to do the...
mini truck thing? People probably... Oh, right there. The Mazda... Wait, look at the Mazda.
Wheels.
Yep, there's Kenny and I's low-hanging fruit right there.
Yeah.
92... Okay. If you don't know what Escalade wheels look like on a mini truck, I think the Chevrolet actually knew what they were doing when they made this wheel because they knew people were going to take them off and mini truck people would buy them.
Just Google it.
Yeah, just Google because they look good. It's the only, they look like crap on the vehicle they were intended for. The vehicle they were not intended for, they look great.
Can we post pictures in the correct orientation, folks?
Oh, yeah, that sucks. When people don't take pictures or have the pictures cropped or at least not in the right, like John said, orientation for your posting, please help us out here.
And
what is it, Devin?
Oh, here what we got here. We have a 92 B series regular cab, 2200 short bed Mazda, that is, which they're kind of derpy, but this one looks pretty cool. 200,000 miles, give or take. I would assume cash only, no trade. Great truck, pretty low to the ground. Okay, decent
on gas.
Decent on gas. That's exactly what I was looking for a commuter rig. New engine swapped in around 115K miles ago by a previous owner. Has a small oil leak, but still pretty nice ride. I mean, it's pretty cool looking. What do they want for this thing?
$5,000.
$5,000?
That's a starting point, though, remember?
What do you get for $5,000?
Mister, I like to pay full price for everything.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Are you a negotiator, John? Do you like to negotiate?
Yeah, I like to negotiate a little bit.
I fucking hate negotiating.
Devin just pays them full price.
I mean, sometimes I will. No, if the deal is good enough, then I will for sure. But sometimes it never hurts to ask.
Okay,
Let me give an example.
I agree with that.
I'm not saying you got to be a lowballer or a turd about it, but it's like, I feel like if you're not willing to negotiate even a little bit, like, I don't really want to deal with it. I like the banter.
Oh, there's certain things I don't negotiate on because I like to. I'm different. Like when I list something for sale, I typically list it like pretty low, and it's just I want it gone. No negotiation. Like when I sold my Jetta, which never told anybody that it was up there, and they could have beat up my marketplace ad, but I put it up for $1,500, and I listed everything that was wrong with it.
And I got too low.
I got like 20 messages immediately, and a bunch of people offering like lower numbers. I'm like, nope. Okay. And then the guy that comes and finally looks at it is like, hey, I just have to ask, will you take anything less? I'm like, I have another guy that's trying to like get me to hold it for him for $1,600. So no, like
suck it.
No negotiating.
Sure. Yeah.
This is the price. Buy it, or the next guy will be here in an hour.
Right.
That's if Kenny showed up to my house to buy something, I'd kick him off the property. Like, seriously, like, let's just say in a perfect world, when you put down the price, that's what it is. And there's no banter. For me, I have no time for it. Like, you want $5,800 for it? You can always ask, hey, are you willing to budge?
Yeah.
That's fine. That's a perfect one. But when people go like, no, it is what it is. Are you sure? Come on, can you do like $500 less? Like, that's what pisses me off.
That stuff I don't like.
That's the bullshit part.
My secret is, I'll give it away, is I price everything with like a 10% cushion I'm willing to give up.
Most people do that
like
too.
The price is 10% less than what I listed it for is what I'm happy to sell it for. Because then people are like, oh, they feel like they got a deal, and then
it's so much fun. It's so much bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is 100. Everyone does the same thing you do. Everyone says, I need $5,000 out of this truck. Just, saying they're going to put it at 55. And they're like, are you willing to deal? Well, I'll do $5,000. Whoa, I got a deal. Like, dude, just list your price that you're at and just send it.
But I will say there is an interesting threshold, like what John brought up. Sometimes
that Ranger we got to click on for
really cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Like cheap, whether it's a vehicle or a thing, an item, whatever. The cheaper it is, the crappier the buyers are.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
like
I'd say
I know.
that.
I mean, I've tried to give stuff away, and it's more troublesome than actually trying to sell and get money out of it. Because I'm like, I really don't care. Just take it. You can't get nobody to show up. You can't get them to communicate. Whatever. But when you list something, when you find that sweet spot for what that is, it almost sells itself.
You should never go. Like, there's more stuff thrown away at Crabtree OBS Solutions because I just don't like dealing with people. Yeah. Kenny's like, I cleared up the mezzanine. And he's like, what happened to this? With this? I threw it away. You could have sold that. Yeah, but I don't want to deal with people.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's not worth it to me.
What's your time worth, right?
Exactly.
What's your time worth? At a certain degree. Like, I was doing a big cleanup around here, and things that were either going to go in the dump trailer or to, like, Goodwill. Take a picture, $20.
Come get it.
And I'd have people haggle, wouldn't even respond until, like, people would just be like, all right, when can I be there? I'll bring cash right now. Mike, sweet. Cool. They show up. It takes me 2 minutes. They have cash in hand.
Yep.
I hand them the thing. They give me the cash. They walk away. I'm like, oh, sweet. That was going to go in the dump trailer, but now I got $20
for beer. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a marketplace that you had to qualify for that showed your history for not being a cunt, and you're like, oh, you qualified for this. It was a marketplace for just like no shit, no, like in the sense of like crappy people to deal with. Everyone was honest. When you say you're going to show up and buy something, you showed up and bought it. You didn't wouldn't that be awesome?
It would, but that's heavily regulated, essentially, is what you're calling for. So then you have to pay to be a part of it.
No, yeah.
In order to be able to weed out the people. Oversight? No, I'm just saying, like, in order for that to exist, it's not going to have that many, like, I don't know that it's feasible. Then you
might have a marketplace times 2 or 2.0 that would be, yes, you'd maybe pay a little bit to be on there, like a couple bucks or whatever, but at least the people you're dealing with are genuine.
That true.
Might be, that might be worth it, just saying. Yeah. Kenny wouldn't do it because he's too cheap, but I would be like, yeah,
I don't know that I would.
Devin gets all angsty about somebody instead of just letting it like, whatever.
It just drives me nuts.
He's like,
dude.
I'm going to chew them out.
I just hate it.
I need to make nuts. Whatever you call those accounts.
A burner account?
A burner account, and find anything that Devin ever posts and just...
Well, you won't find much because they never post anything. In fact, I will give I'm like, hey, Tristan, I got to sell these old wheels and tires. I'll give you a percentage, you sell them. I don't sell anything, dude.
Actually, so speaking of deals and marketplace, Best deal that you know that you've ever gotten, that you can think of, that you've gotten on anything that you've bought. That you're like, man, that I will never forget buying that.
Based on market value?
Does it have to be
like man, I scored this. I mean, it could be an OBS truck. It could be a set of wheels. It could be anything. What's like one of your most, like if I said, man, what's the best deal you ever got on Marketplace?
On Marketplace.
Kenny, you've gotten so many. You're
not me, no.
Yes, you have.
I found a few, but they're few and far between.
Honestly, I don't think I have any.
None?
Really?
Like,
really?
Best deal?
Like nothing you like, dude, I totally scored on that. It's one of my favorite things I have. Never.
Oh, I scored, not really.
No?
No, I got a pretty good deal on my pit bike.
Okay.
But it wasn't that good of a deal. You know, it's like, wasn't incredible. I don't buy a lot of things.
Sure.
Like, on Marketplace.
You're a lurker?
I lurk. Yeah. I mean,
I think those welds that I got, the Cheyennes, that's the best deal. What did that kid want for those things?
They were 22 by 12.
They're 22 by 12 Cheyennes, and I've never seen those before. And they were OG. They were amazing. They were on
tires.
They were on tires, weren't they?
37.
Yeah, worn out set of tires. And I saw them on Marketplace, and I came into work. I'm like, holy crap. Okay, so this is me in a nutshell, and this is the most interesting story because Tanner and Oscar were like, just motherfucker me for this whole situation.
Well, they were listed for $1,800, I think.
Yeah, set of Cheyenne, OG welds.
22 by 12 is a pretty rare size for the time. People got to remember they were made in like the early 2000s when 22s were like, I guess you could say they're between. They were like what 30s are now, you know, in like rarity.
And they were 8 on 6.5, right? Bolt pattern. They weren't Super Duty stuff. And so it's like, dude, this is pretty cool. So I messaged the kid. Now I was late to the party. That post had been up for a while, it was up for a bit, and I'm like, they're probably already gone, right?
Right.
Kid never replied. He wanted $1,800 for them. I'm like, dude, that's a smoking deal. That's like pennies on the dollar for what they're worth.
Yeah.
And so Kenny and I like to play the weld game. I'm not as good as he is, and I'm like, yeah, they're probably gone. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna send a Hail Mary out because he wouldn't answer any of the messages I sent him, thinking he's probably working. And so I sent the message, hey, I will pay you. What did I start off with? $500 more?
Yeah, it's like 22 or 23.
Yeah, I said, I'll pay you $500 more if you hold them for me. I'll be up there. They're all the way in Hillsboro or something.
Which, so it's about an hour and a half.
Yeah,
2
and
hours
it's
from home.
up in the what I call the North Country, which we don't travel very far up in Portland. I don't want to go up there. And I'm like, screw it. I'll give you $500 if I can come up there. And Tanner and Oscar are like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? I said, they're worth more than just that.
Yeah.
And so, like, to me...
And he was stoked.
The guy responded out of nowhere, right?
Well, he finally did. I actually ended up paying him, I think I paid him more than that over because I said, hey, man, you just say, okay, because I was worried about someone coming up while I was driving there. Wouldn't it suck? Hour and a half into Portland, the hood of hoods. I don't want to go there.
The hood of hoods.
Like, I'm not want to go up north. And I'm like, all right. I told him. And it was cool because it was a young kid. And what it was is he got his dad's old dent side Ford. He bought it from his dad. And his dad would take it up in the woods every once in a while. And this kid's like, well, I want to go up in the woods more. And I don't want to mess up these welds. So I want a different tire and wheel for this truck. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to give you $800 extra.
You should have been like, what tires and wheels do you want? I sell tires and wheels.
Yeah, I can help you there. But to me, and Oscar and Tanner still give me shit for that. But I'm like, it's what I wanted. I wasn't like, it wasn't overpriced. It wasn't like above and beyond. Mm-hmm. I went home happy with what I got. He went home. I mean, he was cool because he got extra money to buy the tire and wheel he wanted.
Totally.
And all around, both parties are happy.
Yeah.
And I think that's so many times on Marketplace, you want to be a one-sided affair. Like, oh, I got this guy and I got this like for a good deal. Yeah. I'd rather sleep on my bed, go to bed and I go, hey, each party's happy is what I would
can't
rather.
Rip somebody off.
No.
I don't know.
And that's probably why I don't haggle.
Can't think of. I haggle a little bit. Like, I don't know. I'm just not afraid to be like, what's your, or, I'll be like, would you take this? Like, no. Sometimes I'll just ask, I'll say like, this is what I'm willing to pay. Or like, nope. Okay. Sounds good.
How do you feel about people when their first message is, what's the least you're willing to take?
Oh, I just respond, it's listed for the least I'm willing to take.
I hate that. When their first question is nothing about...
What if they say, is there any wiggle room?
Oh, Is there a way?
Wait, can you say if someone says what's that 92 Ford F-150 looks cool.
Oh, can you see the messages for your stuff? We want to call out some people.
Kenny, what if someone says, "Hey,
it'd be under your messenger.
What's your wiggle room, Kenny? You're okay with that one, Mr. Bucket?"
Yeah, but it's never my first question.
What's your first question?
I'll ask hey man, I'm always try to be personable in the first question. Like, hey, really interested in these or look awesome. What size is this or what's this or and then after I get them to respond, then I'm like, is there any room for negotiation in the deal? And if they're like no, it's like okay. But I always ask.
Enrique's on there. Oh my gosh.
Hold on, there's a good one. Let's read this message.
Okay, so real quick, we're gonna give him a backstory of what we're looking at.
Well, let's go to the listing.
So I listed my Centurion,
which Centurions are hard to find, right? You don't see a lot of them.
Yeah, it's a C350. Somebody started a Power Stroke swap on it. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. So it's 1 ton, 4-wheel drive, Dana 60 front. They started the Power Stroke swap. It was not. We didn't end up. We didn't do anything with it, and all the pictures showed like just how rough around the edges this rig is.
She's a little fixer-upper.
This came from Marketplace.
Yeah, it came from Craigslist.
So
this was actually a pretty good deal. We doubled our money on it.
Did you buy it with Grant?
Yeah.
I like how it still has the center overhead console.
Yeah.
Let's read the description, Devin, and see how John did.
Yes. Okay. Here we go, Kenny. This is a 93 C350 Ford Excursion. Centurion. Sorry. I bought it as a project, and I've decided not to have time, or I decided I do not have time for it. Shocker. It has a great starting platform, but will need a lot of work. The C350s are built on an F350 chassis, and this one has a Dana 60 front axle. It was originally an IDI truck for the previous owner. It was an IDI truck, but the previous owner started doing a 7.3 Power Stroke conversion on it. The Power Stroke engine, transmission, and T-case are installed, but it all needs to be finished up. Mileage is unknown. It appears all of the parts needed are there. These are very rare, and this one comes with some even more rare add-ons like the lighted Lund visor, bushwhacker fender flares, etc. Asking $6,000. By the way, check the gas or the brake pedal, see if it's worn out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Didn't you say something earlier about when people talk about how rare something is in their post?
When someone says it's rare, it's going to be up like it. They know what they have. They know what they have. You're not going to wheel and deal too hard on them.
How much is this Centurion?
Well, this is $6,000 here, and it's located in Central Oregon, not Eastern Oregon.
It's sold, actually.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Just so, because I've had people say, or like reach out asking if it was still available, and they're like, well, I just heard on the last podcast it was. I'm like, oh, sorry. So those actually are put out like, that's not, these are not always live. They can be a few weeks delayed. So I get a wonderful message from this guy. It says, hey, were you looking for somebody to take it to the dump?
Wait. That's his first comment
right
there.
Message.
Hey, you're looking for, wow. Okay.
And I said, after they pay for it, they can do whatever they want with it. And then he responds, perhaps I'm mistaken. It looks rusted out on the bottom, and Hood's paint is completely off and starting to rust, has no bumper, radiator guard. The liner on the roof looks like it came off, and it didn't look like it ran or drove. Well, wish you best trying to find a buyer. I said, thanks for your much wanted opinion. And then he responded, just making sure we are seeing the same truck. Wish you best. Said, yep, and it's priced accordingly.
Who is this
really
douche?
Glad you wasted my time with this useless interaction. His name is David.
Hey, David, you can suck
picture tells me everything I need to
know.
Go
to David's. Can you find David's information? Yeah, let's see David's information.
View profile.
This is bad.
Oh, David. Yeah, you're a real douche. Hey, I love the fact that this guy takes time out of his day to make these comments. Why? Why as a human do you need to do that?
You don't. I know it. It's very obvious that the headliner is not in it and that it does not run.
Hey, I know you two window lickers don't have on your profile or pictures of you taking a selfie.
No.
Right?
He's a bartender. Oh, he works in Bend. We go pay him a visit.
Oh, he does work in Bend.
What a douchebag. What's this guy into?
All right, we can't. This is doxing. This is doxing. We can't do this. We can't do that.
Why would someone do that?
You did it. Not me.
Why would someone in this world?
That was
social
just.
media,
This is just an example of like, why would you take the time? Like,
because I need to tell you my opinion.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my opinion on your hat today, Kenny? Because I need to tell you it. I have to.
You said you liked it.
It's a good looking hat.
At the same time, I wouldn't do that to somebody strictly because my name is on it. Like, you can view my profile. Like, I'm not going to go just like start messing with somebody and then them be able to be like, oh, John Carrick. Huh. Let me see more about him.
Is that what they call shit posting?
I don't know.
Is that the term? I've heard the term.
I just am blown away that someone needs to like voice their opinion. Why? What is the point? No one cares.
Yeah. And it's obvious that when you initially say, are you just looking for someone to take that to the dump for you? Like, you don't even know what this is.
Well, why would you make that comment? Why don't you say, hey, it's a little steep. Are you willing to negotiate? Or is it something you're after? Or some dollar amount you're after? Or $6,000 your firm? Like, was he even interested in it? Looking at his profile, I don't know what he's into, but...
He's a bartender at a local resort.
Well, why would you even take time out of your day to do that to someone?
I don't know. Because you must have an abundance of
Shouldn't he focus on bartending?
Time.
Like, working on those old fashions and shit like that? Like, really, like, in the world today, why social media has given us such a reach that people, like, make comments like that, and for what reason?
I don't know.
Because there's no consequence.
Right, exactly.
Me and you talked about that the other day.
He did just get blasted on a majorly well-known podcast.
Yeah, nationally. Possibly internationally.
It's got to be international.
Intergalactic.
The 4 listeners we had,
Intergalactic.
the 4 or 5 listeners we had just heard this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just think it's kind of crappy that people have to do that stuff, but that's a good analogy of like, or a good representation of the shit we deal with on market. And that's why I tell you all the time, I hate selling shit on Marketplace because of people like that.
But you like ripping up Marketplace.
I love ripping up Marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, you just you also find cool stuff on Marketplace.
Yeah, you do. Remember the welds I got?
Yes, I remember. Oh, you got so many welds. Like, Kenny's like, oh, I've never made a
Which
good
welds
deal.
you got?
Wait, the one off your boat trailer?
The ones that... Oh, yeah, those were good welds. No,
that was a good deal. That was a good Kenny deal.
I was really hoping to get talked down a lot on those.
Oh shit.
I walked myself into that bad.
Yeah, you did. I wasn't going to bring that up. I was trying to play it nice. In case you're wondering where our podcast is listened to, US, Canada, Australia, UK, Germany,
I like how
Sweden.
you two fucking didn't say anything about the welds on the boat trailer. You guys didn't go any further on that.
We're two gentlemen.
They didn't go on the boat trailer?
No.
I wanted them to.
Wrong bolt pattern, right?
Yeah. And it was too complicated. I'm like, okay, it's just a boat trailer.
I'm sorry I brought that up. That's my bad. I was just looking for spiciness.
I wanted to bring, actually, if you're going to go over the podcast, I wanted to go over the results of a recent post.
Oh, yes. This is a great transition, yes. Kenny. Way to transition out of that.
That's a pivot.
Hey, John,
classic
real quick, John, you're a hell of a gentleman. You're a stronger man than me.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Wow.
I tried to make it. I really thought I was going to get talked down more on him.
Anyway, moving on.
Recent post.
There's some history between Kenny and John on some welds, but that's a whole other story. Maybe another podcast.
We're still friends, I think.
You're sitting in my house, so. And I've invited you over numerous times to bring the family and have the trailer here, but you don't come.
I'm scared.
I like Mr. Kyle Falls's comment.
Well, let's
go to the poll
on the last. How do I go? Well,
it's a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, we had a discussion about tires and wheels.
Which episode was this?
3 episodes ago.
It was a whole thing about tires and wheels.
Oh, speaking of which, before we finish this, we do have a couple comments that we can address.
Okay.
It was episode 55. So this is currently episode 59.
No?
59.
Got it.
Wow.
So on episode 55, Kenny made a post, said, "What's your style?" Showed truck with an OBS Ford with big wheels like 30s with rubber band tires. Then he showed Ryan Hausman's truck with our suspension,
which looks really
good. 37s on 17s, kind of low with 37s. Okay. And then the last option was basically just a bone stock OBS
Slight lift.
with 33s.
Actually, there was 4 options in this poll.
Oh, yes. And then option D, where...
It was, I believe option D was Cybertruck.
If I log in, can I see it?
Yeah. As you click under the comments.
Kenny, you did a really good job with that posting, by the way. That was really good.
Where? Oh, Bob Lazar. How do I switch?
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar interview is quite interesting.
Dude, Bob Lazar's the man.
Drawing a spaceship.
What was the show that was on late? Art Bell.
Art Bell.
Late AM radio, like talked about all the
stuff.
Crazy stuff. He
Uh-huh.
had like some studio out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're out in the desert long enough, you're going to see stuff like that.
Where?
Just go to our page in our posts, maybe.
Profile.
Click that.
Oh, I like that.
That one's
Did you
good.
see that?
I don't see anything.
Okay, so...
View insights?
No.
Wow,
How did you do this poll?
It's there. I can see it on my phone. Go to the page. It's near the comments.
It's near the comments.
Yeah, open the post. We were totally prepared for this.
No, we did. I just didn't know.
Go to the bottom, maybe.
No, weird.
That's coming off the rails, boys.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Go to post right there.
That's where we're at.
Oh,
it says vote. Like you go to make a comment. No, can you go to the? No. So I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us, Kenny. We'll get to the...
So option A was KFC bucket rims,
which is a good analogy.
Yeah,
by the way,
I tried to have fun with
that
it.
was
right?
good with low pro wheel or tires, which looks really. Yeah.
B was off-roady for life.
Okay.
Off-roady for life.
Off-roady.
I like that.
I should use the number 4.
Okay.
And a C was stock as a rock.
But that's not stock as a rock. It's a picture.
D, Cybertruck.
So
Okay. 532 people participated, which I was pretty impressed by.
That's impressive.
Okay.
If John would actually collaborate on his business page, we might get more.
I don't run the business page.
Who runs the business page?
JP, Sleeper 73.
Well, he's sleeping on the collaboration.
There you go.
Anyway, what do you guys think
B.
number 1 was?
I'm saying B.
I think number 1 was...
It was a pretty neck and neck for first and second place.
It's either B or C, but I'm going to say B.
Yeah, it's B or C, but I'm with Devin. But actually, no, I'll go C just to be different.
Okay.
But I do think it was B.
John would be correct.
C. People like stock better?
Stock as a rock, 45% of the vote.
Really?
Second place, B, off-roading.
And then D and then A.
Second place was 44. They were within 1% between the stock and the off-roady look.
Which is good to know.
That's good. Yes, 100%.
KFC bucket rims came in with 11%.
Shocker. You know what? That makes me happy.
How many Cybertrucks?
I can't see how many people voted for it. For a while, it was at like 1%.
For Cybertruck?
Yeah.
Thank God. I mean, it should have been 0.
That was a lot of fun, though.
Oh,
that was
see
a
the
good
comments. We got 808 Stretch. That's got to be A. Because 808's Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, that's...
And they're into...
No, 808 Stretch. 808 is like... I think that's like the Hawaiian look.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I just said. 808's Hawaii.
Which...
Oh, I thought you said that it was like that.
Yeah, A.
No,
that is a very like Hawaiian Toyota look.
No, it's not. Mm-mm. Don't you say that ever again. No. Hawaiian look are like 15s, 15 by 14s.
With a 12-inch wide tire.
Yes. That's different
You should know that in the car world. You're involved in stretch tires.
Yes. Don't you? How dare. See, that Hawaiian look like
that.
Right there. Toyota to the right on the.
How's that?
That's not. That's old school. That's new school. We want old school.
That one.
2 different worlds.
Which one?
That one.
Yep. Thank you, Kenny. Right there. Boom. Boggers stretched on like a 14 wide weld.
Okay. How is that incredibly different from that?
Because that tire width matches that wheel a little better.
Yes, there's no stretching.
Rolled over.
And hey, hold on, Kenny.
It's probably stretched.
Hold on a minute. Wait, and that tire or that wheel is over a 20-inch.
Those are, I think, 26s. Actually,
yes.
You want to know what's funny? On Facebook, the guy's brother that owns that truck commented and had a picture of him towing it with. He's got like a dually, I think, OBS with like Alcoas on it and stuff. And he was totally down. Like he didn't care that we were having fun. I found these on Google search pretty much.
I think is like
besides Ryan's.
But so I think A still has its place and like our generation, like, okay, I'm gonna say our generation.
I think D has its place too.
No, it doesn't. D has no place, John. I'm gonna roast you all day long for the Cybertruck.
Kidding.
But, I mean, you see the irony? I use Cybertruck and D together.
But I think the A, like, love him or hate him, it's a style. It's no different than than a roll bar back in the day. Can you imagine all the old people like, I can't believe you're putting a roll bar in that truck?
That truck right there.
It's a nice looking truck.
Is a set of wheels and tires away from making it look a lot like this truck. Because look, still has leaf springs.
Yes.
It's got it's very clean, very sano.
But that's no different than a different style, which you can't hate on because
no, I agree.
Because some guy that loves C is going to talk about how come you put those big 37s on a big tire? I mean, like, they're going to hate the guy that loves C is going to hate B. So like really at the end of the day, it's like, what's your style?
I like A, but I like A where it's on bags. And when you drop all the air out of it, half of the wheel goes up into the fender.
A four-wheel drive truck?
No, the frame. No, two. Like I like big wheels, 2-wheel drive on the ground.
Yeah.
I guess the point I was making with this
big
post,
wheels lifted.
The point I was making by us talking about this wasn't to roast people across, except you. Wait, my point was this. Except if you like D, then we're gonna roast you. But the point I was making is there's different styles for different genres, and we have to accept that. As much as we like the KFC, like the KFC bucket thing looks lame at times for some people, I still think there's the same people back in the day would hate B if they're like an OG C kind of person. Totally. And to me, it's hard for me to go like, oh, A suck. That guy sucks it, and that guy like, how dare you have those big 30-inch wheels? It's just a genre. It's just like a coming of as like it's gonna be a fad or it comes and goes. Yeah. You can't like go totally spicy on those people. At least the truck looks cool.
No, it's a good looking truck.
It's a damn good looking truck.
And what I find interesting is I would have thought for sure that anybody that liked B and C would not like A. But we have two comments here side by side. One says, between C and B myself, still rocking 16s and 35s. The next comment below is A and B. Like, that's really interesting.
I think I'm really hoping we're starting to see that people actually like will have enough empathy to go, okay, that's not my style, but that's that person's style. And I can't hate on them as a person. It's just their style.
And like, there's multiple A and B, which I didn't think that the person that likes A would be into B.
I think the person that likes A or B is into like
just cool shit,
cool modified stuff,
right? Yeah. And which you can't. I mean, like
not at all.
Which is really cool.
But that's the point I was trying.
Cody
to make
Martinez likes D.
That's bullshit. Cody's just spicing it up.
The point I was trying to make is when you find those guys that like a stock truck and only like stock ways, and they get all twisted up about a truck on big wheels and tires. Yes. Like I said, that truck. If this guy that likes these stock trucks bought that truck. He's just got to go down to the tire store and buy some wheels and tires he likes. And it would look, people would probably be like, oh, it's so cool. I love it.
But I think the thing that cracks me up is like so many people come off the rails, have to make negative comments for the low pro tire, big wheel. And they go on social media like, I can't believe you ruined that truck. It's like, why did you make those comments? Why would you need to make those comments? You could put a set of 16 Alcoas on it and it'd be fine. It's a person's preference.
Again, no consequence or recourse for comments.
Okay, real quick on the comments. Go to GM Buggy. It's up a little further up. I got a story about this gentleman. We're going to call out Kyle Falls. Look at
Darren is the best, too. What did Darren say?
Oh,
I don't.
If you guys don't follow DHR Darren,
no, we can't go over that one. We're not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I just said they need to check him out.
Yeah, we're not touching his
GM
comment.
Buggy. This is a friend of mine.
Square body.
His comment, square body.
Square body Chevy.
Okay, so real quick, this guy right here, I've known him for years. I grew up racing with him. He is a maniac. He owns an insulation company. He builds tube chassis crawlers, gnarly stuff. He's 100% GM guy. He had a cat eye Chevy for a long time laid out. He's had it all. He's a character, 100% character. I get a phone call from him last week, right? He's 100% GM. Hates Fords, right?
Like legitimately hates them?
Well, I mean, not...
Like he wouldn't own them.
No, he wouldn't own them. But him and I will...
Really? He thinks like it would be like... He likes the trucks that I think Devin does and stuff. He just doesn't want one.
He gives me shit for loving, trailer park Fords, and I give him shit for loving Chevrolets, But we both like... But anyway, so we'll spend our days like doing at the track riding, but we end up just being on Marketplace instead of riding, right? So he texted me. I was going over the mountain with Lisa, and he texted me, and he goes... Look at this shit, and it's an OBS Ford Oxford White he just bought. And I'm like,
he bought one?
Yes, I'm like, what the hell did you do? And he goes, it turns out his wife, Michelle, who's a sweetheart, has been a closet OBS fan forever. Wanted one so bad. Found one at Power and went and bought one.
That crew cab that they had for sale?
Oxford White, yeah.
They like just in the last week or so.
Oh right? Yeah, he just called this guy.
Wow.
Yeah, so he has new Duramaxes, all stuff, and Michelle drives a Duramax.
Yeah, and all for that,
right? A new Duramax, and so he texts me, and goes, "Yeah, this is Michelle's truck. She wants to like drive the shit out of it."
So let's see his comment. What did he say? He said square body. What did? Oh,
and then Kenny replies, "So Cybertruck got it." Says, "How dare you?"
That's right.
Kyle Falls GM Fort Buggy is one of the most characters. If you ever meet him in person, he's quite the character. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. A hardcore GM guy.
Yeah.
And his wife's like, I want an OBS Ford.
I
hope
love
it hurts a little bit, Kyle. I hope it stings sitting there next to all your.
I do too.
He has a Peterbilt.
Sounds like he has a good wife.
Yeah, she's cool as fuck. She's cool, but he's got like a Peterbilt 379. He's got buggies, like several rock crawlers. Yeah, it's quite comical.
Should we go over some listener questions?
Yes, probably should
things real quick, and then we finish it.
Yeah.
There's not a ton, but we have one. I've been wanting 17 or 18-inch Alcoas to hit the market for many years. Main reason I have stock in 97, but can't beat the factory look. And a tall, skinny tire is my favorite. From Stefan Oman. I agree. Some 17 Alcoas.
I had it on a good authority that someone was manufacturing a pure lookalike of the stock Ford in a 17x9 and an 18.
See, that's
with the 8 with the
8 on 6.5,
8 on 170 bolt pattern too.
Good.
Which would be cool.
Yeah, have them both.
Would it take the hubcap, the center cap?
I don't know. I just heard it from a friend of ours that has big ears.
Big ears.
Big ears. Can
you like physically big ears?
Yes. Like stick out like a wing nut.
Like they catch satellite radio?
Yes. He might be into Broncos.
Does he whistle good?
Maybe. It might be someone that you both know. You might know this human, but he has a wheel manufacturer that he knows of that is currently working on that right now.
Yeah, so him and I talked about it. I know you're talking.
So there could be an Alcoa look, or I'm gonna say a Ford factory wheel lookalike,
right?
In a 17, 18, 9-inch wide instead of the narrow 8.5?
7.5.
7.5.
Well, I don't think it's the width that was the issue with Alcoas. The back spacing was too much.
Well, the width is an issue too when you get up to 35s because they balloon too much.
Yeah, where you couldn't do 30.
Even 35s. Yeah. Like some of them have issues because they're.
Which a guy I know that's been in the OBS world a lot longer than we all have always told me you have to pay attention as those wheels wear and have been on or tires been on and off them. That material around the bead gets thinner and thinner.
Yeah.
So there's really, people aren't paying attention to
the beads on the aluminum wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a gauge for them.
Yeah, people don't pay attention to that
I've
shit.
ground them off on semi-trucks because they get a sharp edge.
So they're
not like, oh, we're going to run these, but like they'll get an edge, and so you'll smooth it out before you put another set of tires on it. Still, they have a gauge that says if it's a go or no go. But even when they're a go, they'll get a lip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like, wouldn't it be awesome to have that would be a big deal. I feel like that wheel would sell.
Totally.
That's the one wheel that even guys with 24s and 35s to stalker guys can all agree on looks really good.
It's a poor man's super single.
It's a great looking wheel.
Monk River says digging these weekly shows. That's awesome. Glad somebody is.
You're the one person. Thanks much.
So this one, Truck Rice is Instagramless Paul, which is like Tennessee Paul
Blum.
He ran Truck Rice.
That's what we keep. No, it's like the spoken rumor.
That can't be right.
Way.
No, that's like the rolling joke. I don't think it's true. I think it's satire.
Okay. That's from Nathan Collis.
Yeah, Nathan, he's out of Canada. He brought his truck to the truck show. It's a crew cab short bed. It's the Wimbledon white, and it had like the red suspension. It was on Alcoas. And
he trailered it.
Yes.
It was clean. It's a very clean truck. Yeah. Hey, if Instagram was Paul, was Truck Rice, that'd make my
I'd love that.
That'd be awesome.
I have a hard time believing it, but it would be really cool.
You want to believe it?
I do want to believe it.
I have the best Paul Blum story.
So this next one is from my buddy Billy Fournier or Forney. I went to tech school with this guy.
Okay.
We've been friends ever since. We don't talk as often as we should, but super good guy. He came out to the show this year from Colorado, and his comment is it against Devon's code if you are aspiring to become a successful business and you reach out to an influencer to review your product?
I mean, if you want to play the game, go for it.
I think it's different than an influencer coming to you and being like, "Hey, will you give me free shit and I will pump it for you," versus you going to them and saying like, "If I send you this,
and there's what's this gentleman's name again?
Billy.
Hey, Billy, don't listen to anything I say first thing because I'm not an expert of anything.
Listen to some things. He has 2 successful businesses. So
smoke and mirrors, bud. I will tell you this. I really think that in the world of influencers, because of my experience and how many I've been burned by, and it's over and over again. Yes, there probably are some you can reach out to, but here's the deal. You have to hold them accountable. I would say if you're going to do that, make them sign a contract that you can physically, like you send it to them, they sign it, you get it back, and you have it in paper.
Right.
That you can go, hey, mofo, like you didn't do what you're supposed to do. This is why, then which our last influencer, which is what spurred this whole topic about, is that we held an influencer accountable. We told him, here's our timelines, guidelines for us to send you free shit.
Right.
You did not do that. Give me my shit back. Because in this day and age, influencers, I feel, at least the ones I've dealt with, so many of them are like, you send them stuff and then it's like gone in the wind. And you hope you get some kind of return. Now, I'm not talking your big influencers because I have no experience with that. I'm talking actually, I should say that. I know I'm wrong on that because we dealt with a big influencer that has 200,000 followers and we got burned big time. So,
really?
Yes. So I'm going to tell you, it's my experience. I'm not saying it's everyone's. So I would say do what you think's right, but I would just hold them accountable and I'd have documentation.
Wasn't it you and I that were talking about this after the fact, kind of off the show, where maybe instead of giving them stuff, you have them pay full price and then for every, and have it outlined for what they need to do for you to either reimburse them or reimburse them.
I think Lisa actually came up with that.
Well, you guys might have talked about it. Then you and I talked about that because I said that's what Paul Rutledge told me.
Yes, there was a conversation that we had.
And that was his experience from he wasn't being an influencer, but he was putting together a Bronco for SEMA, if I recall correctly, a few years ago. And he didn't know the game or how it works, right? So he just started reaching out to companies and was like, hey, man, I want some stuff. Like, I'm building this Bronco. You know how Paul is. And some of the companies came back with, like, buy our product, full price, and here's a tier of, well, I don't know, achievements, accomplishments, whatever. If you can prove to us you did these things, whether it was had it at SEMA, got in a magazine, got on a cover of a magazine, whatever, got it into an ad, those all qualified for a certain amount of refund on the product. And so it puts, like I was telling John, I think that's an interesting take because it puts the ball in the consumer's court. They paid full price, so if they don't do anything, well, then they just bought the product.
Which works out good. That's a good way to do it. But I mean, it really is.
They have an incentive to actually do something if they want to, and they're driven enough to do it to get some money back, and you probably get a better product back from them because they want their money back if they're going to do that.
Well, and that's a damn good point, and that's a good way to spin that. There's, like I said, Bob Sand always says there's more than one way to skin a cat. That's another way to do it.
Well, and it's just tricky in general being... Like, I think it's easier when you have a little more notoriety. Like, when you're, like, more coming up from the bottom, it's harder to get your name out there in the market. And so it might be valuable for you as long as, like, you don't get burned.
If you're willing to take the L.
If you're willing to take that risk, then send it and you be happy. But if you get burned and you don't have any type of, like, documentation, or at least tell them what your expectations are.
Yeah, at least setting the expectation
that's
for
the problem.
Why you are going to hook them up with this stuff.
Transparency is key. Tell them what you're after and your timeline. If you're spinning your wheels and say, hey, I haven't seen anything in 6 months for a post or like regarding our product I sent you for free, and you never set that expectation on your timeline you're seeing, that's on you.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
And maybe look at what other products these people have promoted and see how they've done it.
The last one is a big Ford influencer. It wasn't like he was and he's worked with other companies we know.
Oh, so like
yes,
seemingly decent track record.
Correct, 100%.
And burned you.
We got pushed to the back burner is what it seems like because of other higher priorities.
Because once a higher priority came in, then we got pushed.
And that's how it's going to be. And you're not a small company necessarily.
We're a small company compared. Yeah.
But probably bigger than what Billy's is. And the smaller the company you are, the less priority that influencer is going to have. So you got to figure out a way to make it to where they are like, they have to.
Yeah. It's tough. It's not easy in general.
Well, the one that really put this all. So this one was, I haven't done any influencer stuff in a long time. This one came to me from another business owner that said, I should probably do this. And we sent this guy product.
Right.
Before that, I was against it 100%. I had experience with a guy that has like 250,000 followers and has a very notable. Notable. Thank you. OBS Ford. That's a big influencer, right? And I sent him sills and scuffs and all this stuff. And then he went to SEMA and his truck was out there. Not one single post about what I sent him. And I just called him out on it. I just called him out, and then he texted me, and I texted him, wow, this is bullshit. And I called him. I called him, on the phone and said, hey, this is bullshit. I send you stuff, and nothing happens. And this is like a black eye in this type of industry where you're an influencer with all these followers. I send you free stuff you ask for because he reached out to me.
Yeah.
And this is what happens. And so, to me...
And was there any resolution to that?
No.
When you guys talked on the phone?
No, I mean, he's all the way in Florida. And like, how am I? So I just said, you know what? Unfollow, leave, like, you're in your own world. Since then, he's tried to contact Kenny. Hey, I need stuff for my wife's OBS Ford. Or he tries to like send us like.
The website's always open.
Yeah. You can buy it all day long, bud. Or collaborate in these videos. And to me, I think that's what makes me spicy. I'm a spicy human in general.
Really?
Shocker.
Yeah.
But like, to me, like that. I'll be cool if some kid goes, hey, can you friend me? Can you help me out? You know what, dude? I'd rather help out like the last customer or the last person we found, the young girl. We talked about that. That's what I'm going after as a business model. Like, even
getting that message from Colt on Facebook warmed my heart.
Exactly. See, to me, that would
such a good person.
We may not make the ROI on that, but it makes my heart pretty happy that someone that needed some help or like had a bad thing happen to him, who's not some guy like showing his wife's chaunch out there or like whoring himself out. Yeah. To me, that's a big deal.
Well, like you and I have talked about how we're all like, I'm going to say profiling, sizing up somebody that we see that we don't know maybe on Instagram or social media, Instagram mostly. When it's just images they can post, right? You can post anything you want.
Yeah.
If you're into OBS trucks, you could just post OBS trucks. But we really gauge somebody based on what they post, and not like, oh, they're ugly but more like, what type of thing? Oh, is every single post just a picture of their truck from another angle? Oh no, this guy posts like he's got some other hobby. Oh look, dude, he rides BMX, or oh, looks like he took his family on vacation. That's really cool.
That's what we did.
That they're the biggest, our best friends in this industry. Trucks are like 15-20% of their life.
Totally.
The rest of it is other things that we share in common. Those are our real, true, close friends in this industry. Same thing with when you look at somebody's profile that's like, hey man, I got this cool truck and I love your products and I'd like, to help me. It's like we go see who they are and you're like,
if it's 80 pictures of the same truck shot from different angles and different backdrops.
Yeah. It's like, no man, there's more to life than trucks.
There are. Yeah. And I hope that people figure that out.
Maybe not. I don't know. I think they will. Some will. Some won't.
Yeah.
I mean, Colt Hadley's a prime example. Colt Hadley is a solid human. Bad things happen to him unexpectedly, out of his control, in my opinion, for what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And, he's a good guy. And there's a lot of other people that, Instagramless Paul. That's another great guy.
Fantastic dude.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. And Cody Martinez. Oh my gosh. Cody's posting shit all the time. It's not truck related and is a crack up.
Cody is the man.
I love being on that boat he has. That thing is awesome.
He needs to tow that boat up. See, we need to do a post-truck show lake day.
Oh, damn. That'd be a good day.
I'm not allowed on Devin's boat.
Oh, you're not?
I'll get the interior dirty.
You can come in on mine. Mine's got 20 years of interior wear. So
I did tell him he bought brown interior, which was good. So when I spill my coffee,
so Kenny is passed.
I don't drink coffee in the boat often.
So Kenny has a past of like, whoa, brand new interior carpet. Let me put my 32-ounce coffee here in an OBS cup holder and turn a corner. That is Kenny's like history.
Which rig was this?
Cowboy truck.
Wow.
And his own personal truck and Eric's daily commuter. He dumped a 32-ouncer in the back.
No, it was a glass
You were
bottle
like
coat.
my wife.
Yeah.
Every time we get in the truck, she takes that giant Stanley cup, sets it in the cup holder. We go down the driveway to the gate.
Is she like blown away?
And it falls over. And I'm like, Trin, how is this not like sunk in?
Is that only in the OBS Ford?
Yeah.
So, do you know, I'm going to give CPAC a plug here. Their new cup holder is pretty legit. It will help you out.
Oh.
It does. I'm just saying, when credits due, that new cup
Chris
holder.
and Paul, you got to sponsor this episode.
Yeah, because their new cup holder that bolts into your factory 40-20-40, the middle console, for you guys that know what I'm talking about, your derpy cup holder that is only good for holding a can of Skull. That's about all it's good for.
Yeah.
Their cup holder adapter is, I would say it's pretty legit.
Sweet.
It works good. It would help you with the trend problem. Well, part of it.
Maybe.
But not the Kenny problem.
No, Kenny's a whole nother animal because he actually just puts it standing up in no cup holders.
Oh, you just set it there.
Just sends it. Just like, hey.
How often have you spilled drinks in your own rigs?
Not very often.
Oh, no, just other people.
Just other people's.
I just have bad luck.
With new interior. With new carpet.
Well.
On that note.
Billy, if you got other questions, I know I haven't returned your phone call. It's not
you're
personal.
A shitty friend.
I am.
You're a shitty friend.
I am. I'm sorry.
God.
I'd be happy to go over this stuff and,
What kind of business does Billy have?
Fabrication.
Oh, okay.
He came out to Bend and picked up an arc light table.
Really? Okay. Is he no longer in this area?
He's Colorado.
Oh, okay.
It's always been Colorado.
Got
but happy to chat and give any insight that I have.
Is that the only questions or answers? Or
that's all we have comment-wise. That's really...
Because really no one listens to this anyway.
Maybe next episode you can see if there's some tech questions from the Instagram page.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, should we... What time is it here?
Yeah, we're plenty in.
Well, let's end this on a good note then. Kenny, thanks for coming over and hanging out with us. Maybe do one more?
Yeah, it's not that far to drive. It's fun. Weather's good. No snow in the past, so that's nice.
I'm hoping for early spring, boys. I'm really fingers crossed.
You and me both.
Although snowboarding season's going to end, that kind of sucks.
We're going to go Saturday.
Saturday? Where to, Bachelor?
Wherever.
Oh,
wherever you want to go.
Oh, I get to choose?
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, that passed because
I got new boots, so.
All right, so we'll see. Okay, well, that's what we're doing. All right, well, Kenny, thanks for coming over.
Yeah.
John, we don't have to tell him who we are, right?
No, we don't.
Okay. Just end it, just like cross the board.
Yeah, thank you guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Hey, by the way, before John ends this, we love your questions as
yes.
Just send them to us if you have questions, or maybe you know everything. You don't have questions. There's always that. So anyway, I'm Devin. This is John. You're listening to Truckery Podcast, and we had Kenny on today. So
lucky me.
All
right.
Adios.
Bye.